Good morning, children. In the previous session, we have seen how the camel escaped from the work, how the three animals, the horse, the dog, and the ox, were affected and felt frustrated. They complained to the jinn. Jinn also gave assurance. Let's see the chapter 2. The jinn remonstrated with the camel, who said, Hump. Remonstrated means protested or complained. The camel's beautiful back suddenly grew a lump, which was the camel's hump. The jinn assured the camel his hump would always be a help, not a hindrance. The jinn rolled himself up in his dust cloak and took a walk across the desert and found the camel looking at his own reflection in a pool of water. Dust cloak. Clock means here. That is not clock. Clock means CLOCK. That is clock. CLOAK. Cloak means robe or mantle or long coat, we can say. Okay. My friend, said the jinn, what's this? I hear of your doing no work. The jinn sat down with his chin in his hand, while the camel looked at his own reflection in the pool of water. You've given the three extra work ever since Monday morning? All on account of your idleness, said the jinn. And he went on thinking with his chin in his hand. The jinn found the camel in the desert. He was looking at his reflection in water. The jinn asked him to work. Yes. Hump, said the camel. I shouldn't say that again if I were you, said the jinn. You might say it once too often. I want you to work. And the camel said, Hump again. But no sooner had he said it than he saw his back that he was so proud of, puffing up into a great big hump. As soon as the camel said hump, he saw something strange. He saw his back was puffing up. Yes. Do you see that? Said the jinn. That's your own, very own hump that you've brought upon your very own self by not working. Today is Thursday and you've done no work since Monday when the work began. Now you are going to work. How can I, said the camel, with this hump on my back? That has a purpose, said the jinn. All because you missed those 3 days. You will be able to work now for 3 days without eating because you can live on your hump. And don't you ever say, I never did anything for you. Come out of the desert and go to the tree and behave. And the camel went away to join the three. Who? The horse, the dog, and the ox. Yes. And from that day to this, the camel always wears a hump. We call it hump now. Not to hurt his feelings, but he has never yet caught up with the 3 days that he missed at the beginning of the world, and he has never yet learned how to behave. Who? The camel. Yes, the camel has never yet learned how to behave. The story is written by Rudyard Kipling. Here they have given abridged. Abridged means shortened without losing the sense. Next we will see the comprehension check. Yes, yes. The camel was looking at his own reflection in the pool. What does it suggest to you about the camel? The camel was looking at his own reflection in the pool. Shows that yes, he was proud of his appearance, especially his back. He liked admiring himself. The second question, the camel said hump repeatedly. How did it affect him? While the jinn was trying to remind him for being lazy and avoiding his work, the camel kept saying hump repeatedly. Even the jinn warned him not to say so. His back puffed up into a big hump as a result of his repeating the word and by not working. Yes, the third question. What, according to the jinn, was the use of the hump? According to the jinn, as the camel missed his work for 3 days, he would be able to do work for 3 days without eating. The hump would help the camel in storing the food and use it during his work without eating anything for a long period. He has never yet learned to behave. In the light of this, what is the writer's opinion about the camel? According to the writer, the camel is still a very lazy animal, that is, unwilling to work. After he got up the hump, the jinn asked him to go out of the desert to help the other three animals. It seems that the camel still did not behave himself and worked lazily in the desert itself. It is for this reason that he was still unable to complete the pending work of those 3 missed days. And he continued carrying the hump and living in the desert. Take the next page. Discuss the following topics in groups. The exercise has given here. Yes. First question. Can this story be factually true? True? No. It is just an imaginary one. Second question. What, according to you, is the story about? 4 divisions I have given here. We will check. First one, how the world began. Second, why everyone should do his or her share of work seriously. Third, how animals are important to humans. Fourth, how the camel got his hump. What is the answer? Yes, how the camel got his hump. The third question, especially for you. Yes. What did you do over the weekend? Were you generally active or idle? Please check your bag before starting to discuss or answer the question. Whether you have hump? No. Good. The fourth one, there are broadly 2 categories of workers. Those who prefer to do today what they can do tomorrow, and those who prefer to do tomorrow what they can do today. Where do you belong? Which category? Yes. Your answer. I am doing my work promptly and properly in time. Yes, good children, good. Then next they have given, does that? Think over it. Yes. All work is dignified. There is no such thing as menial work. He who struggles is better than he who never attempts. Yes, very nice point. He who struggles is better than he who never attempts. Yes. Third one, all work and no play. Is it a good idea? William Faulkner, American novelist and poet, didn't think so. In his words, one of the saddest things is that the only thing that a man can do for 8 hours a day after day, is work. You can't eat 8 hours a day. Can you? Can't. Yes. All you can do for 8 hours is work, which is the reason why man makes himself and everybody else so miserable and unhappy. Let's do one recap. Yes, dear. See the mind map. First chapter, that is inception of world. All animals worked for man. Horse, dog, ox worked except camel. They complied to the man in charge of that project. Double work. We will discuss. First chapter. In the beginning, the world was new. The animals were just beginning to work for man. Yes, there was a camel. He lived in the middle of a howling desert. He did not want to work. He ate sticks and thorns. He said, "Hump," when anyone spoke to him. The horse went to him on Monday. He asked the camel to come out and trot, but the camel said, "Hump." The horse told the man about it. The dog also came to the camel. He asked him to work, but the camel said, "Hump." The ox came to him and asked him to plow. The camel said to him, "To what?" "Hump." The three, the horse, the dog, and the ox, complained about the camel to the man. He asked them to work double time. Yes, double time to compensate the camel's work. The three animals got very angry. They held a panchayat. There came the jinn of all deserts. The horse complained to the jinn about the camel. He told the jinn that the camel did not work. He said only hump. The jinn assured them that he would set the camel right. Next chapter. Three felt frustrated. They complained to the jinn in charge of all deserts. Jinn advised camel, but it refused and said, "Hump." Jinn gave him a hump on his back. Yes, dear. The jinn found the camel in the desert. He was looking at his reflection in water. Who? The camel. The jinn asked him to work, but the camel said, "Hump," only. But as soon as he said this, he saw something strange. What? He saw his beautiful back was puffing up. He was very proud of his back. Now it turned to be ugly. Yes. The jinn told the camel that it was his own hump. He himself had brought it upon him by not working. The jinn ordered him to work, but the camel said that he couldn't work. The hump was a big hurdle. The jinn told the camel that the hump had a purpose. The camel had not done work for 3 days. He would always be able to work for 3 days without eating. He could live on his hump. The jinn asked the camel to behave properly. The camel went away to join the three. Who? The horse, the dog, yes, and the ox. From that day, the camel always has a hump, but he has not caught up with his 3 days. He had missed them at the beginning of the world. He has not yet learned to behave. Yes, dear. I hope you enjoyed this story and you also learned some values from this story. We will meet in the next virtual class.